Hi, my name is Meron, Shita, and today I'm going to be talking about how I use the 7 core processes of community collaboration to develop the first annual Race for a Healthy Fresno 5K and Kids Race. The Healthy Fresno Collaborative is an organization founded by a group of concerned Fresno residents that recognize the need for all Fresno neighborhoods and schools to support improved health and healthy behaviors. HFC was created to provide healthier ways of living for Fresno residents. They do this by promoting healthy food options, physical activity opportunities, and prevention-focused health services. The first step in convening the community around our organization is creating a coordinating committee. The HFC's coordinating committee will be made up of concerned citizens, as well as people and organizations in and around the community that represent a diverse sample of the population. Since one of the effort's major concerns is the health and wellness of children, officials, teachers, and faculty from the Fresno Unified School District will be heavily represented. Other members of the committee include parents and representatives from community faith-based organizations and the local public health department. While the coordinating committee may not be a complete representation of Fresno, it is diverse enough to assist in identifying potential members for the larger stakeholder group. Through a series of committee meetings, the steering committee will define the scope and parameters of the effort, which will serve as broad boundaries for what the effort will attempt to accomplish. Next, the steering committee will conduct open forum-style workshops to get the input of the community. Stakeholders will also be invited to attend this workshop through personalized RSVP letters specific to their person or organization. Here's a list of our potential stakeholders. During these meetings, and with the use of a facilitator, all participants, including committee members, stakeholders, and the general public, will help to develop the organization's mission statement and 4 core goals. By consensus, the mission statement of the organization is to promote healthy lifestyles in Fresno County through the prevention and reduction of overweight and obesity in adults and children. The core goals of the organization are as follows. Goal 1 is to increase awareness of nutrition, physical activity, and health-related issues associated with obesity. Goal 2 is to improve attitudes towards health and wellness. Goal 3 is to improve access to nutrition, physical activity, and appropriate healthcare services related to health and obesity. Goal 4 is to increase advocacy for healthy nutrition and physical activity promotion. Once the general outline of HFC's organization is established, the steering committee will then assign a task force to each goal. This task force is responsible for creating objectives to meet this goal, collecting data on their particular topic, and creating programs and services to help meet their goal. The main goal that our event addresses is Goal 1, which will attempt to increase awareness of nutrition, physical activity, and health-related issues associated with obesity. The objectives associated with this goal are as follows. Objective 1 is to create programs and services to increase awareness of nutrition and physical activity behaviors that promote good health and healthy weight. Objective 2 is to support efforts to increase awareness of existing community-based services and resources that support nutrition and physical activity-related healthy behaviors. And Objective 3 is to increase awareness of existing healthcare services that support weight loss and management. Once it has been established that our target population is Fresno families and children, the assessment process can begin. The assessment process will be conducted over a 2-month period using several sources of data. Secondary data will be collected through the Census Bureau, local, state, and federal governmental agencies, and academic databases. After collecting the relevant secondary data on nutrition and physical activity in the community, a needs assessment will be conducted that not only gathers data on the deficits of the community, but also catalogs the specific skill sets, resources, and capacities within the community that may prove beneficial to HFC's efforts. The task force will recruit community members through brochures, flyers, announcement at local venues, and social media outlets to assist in developing a survey as well as a method of disseminating the material. This ensures that the community feels a sense of ownership over the process and allows the dissemination process to reach a wider audience. Along with the survey, key informant interviews, community forums, and focus groups will be organized by the task force. These sources, in conjunction with the survey, will allow the effort to utilize both qualitative and quantitative data when analyzing the landscape of the community. Once all sources of data have been exhausted, the task force will then determine the key findings, write a report, and disseminate the report to the public. The action planning phase of a community health effort will include the cooperation of the coordinating committee, staff, and stakeholders. During this phase, the goals and objectives for improving the community's health will be reestablished, as well as methods and strategies needed to meet said goals and objectives. When defining the purpose of the action plan, it is useful to use the initial shared vision as a frame of reference for formulating the values and parameters of the action plan. The initial shared vision that the task force was concerned with was increasing awareness of nutrition, physical activity, and health related issues associated with obesity. The objectives specific to this goal were to increase physical activity behaviors that promote good health and healthy weight, increase awareness of existing community based services and resources that support nutrition and physical activity related healthy behaviors, and increase awareness of health care services that support weight loss and management. Once the task force has once again familiarized itself with the goals of the action plan, a series of design meetings to create an action plan will be conducted over a 4 to 6 week period. The first major talking point is agreeing on the event itself. The task force agrees that the core event will be a 5K run in kids race. Once the event has been agreed upon, the details can be organized. During the first meeting, the task force will pick a date, time, and location for the event. In order to ensure the task force has sufficient planning time, the date of the event will be scheduled at least 6 months from the first planning meeting. Event directories such as active.com and other registries will be checked for other local events on the weekend of interest. Because it is HFC's first attempt at a successful 5K, we want to minimize any competition from other more established organizations. Next, a location will be chosen. Ideally, the event will be held at a venue that is accessible to as many members of the community as possible, is safe and appealing so participants are motivated to turn out, and parking and public transportation routes are available so that participants can easily access the event. The venue, date, and time that are formalized through this process are as follows. The Healthy Fresno Collaborative 5K and Kids Race will be held on Saturday, October 5th, 2013 at Woodward Park. The event will consist of a 5K run and 5K walk for adults and children 12 years and up, and a kids race for children 12 and under. The event will also feature health-related organizations in and around Fresno interested in distributing healthful nutrition and physical activity-related information and materials to participants. Once the general concerns of the event are established, the task force will be divided into subcommittees to address the specifics of the event. Each subcommittee will be made up of 1 or 2 members of the task force and several volunteers who have been recruited throughout the process. The subcommittee will be divided as follows: a registration subcommittee, the budget and logistics subcommittee, the sponsor recruitment committee, and the advertising subcommittee. The registration committee will develop the race website as well as set up the online registration. Because a major target audience of the event is youth, registration packets will also be created and distributed to elementary, middle, and high schools across Fresno. For convenience, students will be able to submit their packets to their campus main offices. The advertising committee will be responsible for promoting the event. Methods of getting the word out there include posting the event on sites like active.com, which reaches millions of subscribers and potential participants every month. Social media outlets such as Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube will also be used to link with people all over the community. Flyers and brochures for the race will be posted at local hotspots such as campuses, gyms, hospitals, and clinics. We will also be advertising in the local newspaper, on television, and local radio stations. The sponsor recruitment committee will be responsible for reaching out to potential sponsors to donate funds, donate giveaway options, and/or participate in the event by reserving a table and distributing nutrition and physical activity related materials. Sponsors will be approached through connections within the organization as well as the cold call approach. Sponsorship response forms will also be sent to all potential sponsors with incentive packages attached. Here you see a list of our potential sponsors. Before and during the event, the task force committees, volunteers, and participating sponsors will be in attendance and be placed throughout the park to help facilitate an organized event. Several designated tables at the entrance of the park will serve as sign-in and race day registration areas. Each participant will receive a race number and a registration goodie bag. Likely items in these goodie bags include the event t-shirt, a healthy family cookbook, coupons for free 7-day gym passes, coupons for free kids sessions at the Little Gym of Fresno, a calorie counter. Our sponsors will donate all items in the complimentary bags. For the race itself, there will be a finish line manned with several volunteers, all with separate responsibilities. The results will then be tabulated to determine the top runners for the award ceremony that will directly follow the race. Directly after the race, participants will be encouraged to visit the various sponsored booths to receive fun and healthful tips and materials from organizations such as the Fresno County Public Health Department, Children's Hospital, First Five, Boys and Girls Club, Whole Foods, and local weight loss clinics. After the close of the event, staff and volunteers will help to break down and clean up the event space. During the event, committee members, stakeholders, and volunteers will make notes throughout the day as to what worked and what needed improvement. Within the next few days, while the event is still fresh in everyone's minds, a follow-up meeting will be held to discuss the pros and cons of the event layout and how to adjust for future events. Also, at the conclusion of the event itself, exit interviews and feedback surveys will be administered to determine how participants felt about the organization of the event, advertising strategies, and overall satisfaction with the event, as well as how successful the event was in motivating participants to become more physically active and health conscious. The first step in preparing for next year's marathon is engaging the newly established running community by posting event results and photos on the website. The organization will also keep the Facebook page and social media outlets active and up to date on progress for the following year.